Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. This, of course, is the Titans Talking Toys, and I'm by myself today, which is fine. I mean, like it is what it is. Danny has prior obligations. He's got family to take care of, and yeah, so basically I'm on my own, but that's okay. Just gonna have fun today, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and of course, what's going on in the world of toys, because that's obviously why we're here. a lot of crazy things going on right now, and I wanted to cover a few of them today, guys. It's been a long time since we've seen him here, but it's always great to see my very good friend Brick. Something is in the house. What's going on, Brick?
Hey Jay, sorry for the confusion. I was dropping that saying I can come in now and can hang out for about an hour.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of confusing.
Yeah, my bad. But I know we've been talking about it. I know you've wanted me to come through and I haven't been able to, but I am able to. So yes, hi.
Looking at the impressive wall display, A-wings. There's A-wings.
Oh.
There's B-wings. There's.
It's Star Wars Celebration, and I wish I was both there for the Star Wars Celebration and Japan, man. So
you know what?
yes, Lego stuff.
It's about time we talked about that. So thank you guys. Caught up with the chat. I wanted to say hi to everybody as much as possible. And because we have the great Brick Something here and he's admiring his collection, let's go ahead and take a look at what happened during Star Wars Celebration. So heading over to our good friends over at toyark.com. Guys, huge shout out to toyark.com. They're a wonderful news resource for toy news all year round. Give them a like and a follow. They have an article titled Star Wars Celebration 2025, Hasbro official Star Wars photos and details. And these were a lot of fun. So a lot of great characters were released, particularly if you are a gaming fan, and some very big exclusives at the time for the was it Star Wars Stories, or was it a different series?
Are you talking about the anime one?
Yeah.
Visions?
Yeah, Visions. That's the one.
Yep.
Star Wars Visions. Yeah, so a lot of great characters that were revealed and, of course, put up for sale at places like TitanToys.com. So, guys, let's go through a few of these. Some surprising, some not surprising, and yeah, some really, really unexpected releases as well. Was there anything that really caught your eye at the time, Brick, or anything that you were hoping?
Well, I think what stood out again as someone from the previous century, you mentioned, like, if you're a video games fan, there was a moment after, there was a period where we didn't know we were going to get prequels. We thought it was all done with with Return of the Jedi. But there was a moment when Lucasfilm was trying to, like, drum up some more attention, where they had this big marketing event, a publishing event, where they were going to continue sort of the story in between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, right, with Shadows of the Empire. And so there was a video game involved, right? So going to your point about video games, as well as comics and books and a soundtrack. But there was a character on there, Rendar, who was kind of a big deal in that. I wasn't a huge fan of the thing, but I always think it's just always cool when they are, now trying to pull from the established, what we used to be called the Extended Universe is now called Legends. It's kind of neat to see that all in Black Series sort of, and the Vintage Collection. So you can kind of like work those into your, on your shelf along with all the other figures.
Yep. So we're talking about N64 days here. This is like way back. So this is definitely a huge surprise. A lot of people were very taken aback by this, but he looks awesome. If you guys had ever played Shadows of the Empire, this was definitely a character. Now, obviously, he's more realistic in his build here, because in the game he kind of looked like He-Man a little bit. He was very top heavy, but yeah, his overall physique here is much more in line with as if he was in the movies themselves, right, or television series. So it's great to see his character finally realized in action figure form.
Do you know what's interesting? In addition to the physique, do you remember, like, this was the sort of the 90s? This was the era of Image Comics, Rob Liefeld, etc.
Yep.
So those shoulder pads were a little bit bigger back in the day, right? They used to lift more weights back then, but it seems like he slimmed down for the 21st century.
Yeah, it was the Youngblood days. You know what I mean? It was it was definitely the Liefeld Cable. That was Cable. That was Cable's whole look.
That was all Cable. Like New Mutants 100, baby. Yeah. Right. But I think he looks good.
The inside pants. Like, what the hell is that? But you know what? Rob popularized that. That's because he was tired of drawing, right? So he just kind of like went
over design.
It was
But it's
funny.
cool. It's
It was
neat to
funny.
sort of see him in there. They've brought back a lot of characters from the EU into actual canon now. So
Yep.
who knows? Maybe Dash will be there. They've brought a ship into that model ship of the Outrunner, I think is what it was called. It's been in, I think, it was in The Rise of Skywalker in that big battle. It was in a version of it was in Rebels. So
What I really
it's
love
cool.
is the square chin. I mean, that is like wow. They actually got away with that. That is like a
There
Jay
were,
Leno. That is like a Jay
yeah,
Leno chin if I ever saw one. That's awesome. I love the fact that they really are paying homage to to the game itself, and
it
it's really
looks
great.
like a young Kurt Russell mixed with the dude that played Ciri Lannister's brother, the other brother,
Oh yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah,
the brother lover, the lover brother.
yeah. Jamie Alistair.
Yes,
Yeah. I can't remember the actor's name, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, it was
looks
great to
good.
see that he was released.
Mm-hmm.
And of course a lot. So this was your big surprise, the one that got you.
It
Um,
was a surprise just because it's cool that they're doing those old pulls. I
sure.
see that, like, in my head can't help but sort of see where Lucas and Hasbro's sort of strategy seems to be, and it seems to be like they have a hard time trying to like please different pockets of fans. So I appreciate that they went there, as well as the modern games. I really love the Jedi series, Jedi Fallen Order
Mhm.
and Jedi Survivor. So it's cool to
Absolutely.
see those things in there too.
So, it's really cool to see this too because if you are part of if you are into Jedi lore, this is obviously a really cool thing for kids. But also if you are into lightsabers and the whole lore behind it, this is an interesting set here. It is the lightsaber collection, and it's an entire set of kyber crystals. This is
Mhm.
crazy.
That's fun.
Prior to this, you could only get these at Disney World, as I understand it. Like they weren't really commercially available outside of that, like of a complete set of these anyway. I know people
Yeah.
who have actually gone to Disney World multiple times just to collect each and every one of these crystals. So
They're not
it's
the same ones, just so you know. They're
sure.
not, but the idea of getting kyber crystals, you're right. This is the first time at retail that you can get kyber
Well,
crystals.
no, I mean like there have been there like they have had kyber crystals like these before, but not in a complete set like this,
No.
right?
Oh,
Where
I
it's
didn't
all
realize
available.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
cool.
like these previously released versions of these lightsabers. I believe certain ones had kyber crystals in them, but they were very generic. This one is literally a complete set. Like it's got pretty much every color available for every Jedi's lightsaber thing. And it's my understanding, if I'm not wrong, that when you put in when you put in a different kyber crystal, it'll have different light effects. It'll have different sound effects, obviously,
That's
right?
cool.
So this is a very very cool idea right there. As you can see it, 7 different colors, right? So every single time you put in a new kyber crystal, it will actually show up very very different. Obviously, this is for kids. This isn't one of the premium lightsaber
Sure.
situations, but I love the whole idea that finally get your bleeding on lightsabers. You can get your
Yeah.
blue lightsabers. You can get the green lightsabers, right? All in one pack. And this is just a handsome
That is
set.
cool. Look at
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
this is just a handsome set altogether. Like this is a piece of cardboard, but I can see customizers coming in and really making something really
Sure.
nice, right? I have a whole bunch of different friends who are into this lightsaber lore. So, and where else can you get a whole set of of kyber crystals in one set? Well, usually you have to buy a whole bunch of different lightsabers at the same time just to pick up one or two, right? And it's great to just see this as it is right here, in this overall collection. Like this is great and very happy. And of course, it's canonical too, right? So now these are actual like Star Wars canonical stuff because people have been customizing this for a while. It even has a planogram on the different types and this is great too for Jedi lore, right? So this one's called the Jedi's Edge for the blue one. This is the Force Quake for the green one. I don't I wonder if that's translucent. But anyway, it's the coloring dynamic here is just kind of weird. As a graphic designer, Brick, I would have done something different. But anyway, Jedi Master is this green one here. Solari crystal, very nice. We have the Spirit Shard. Come here, I love that. The Peacekeeper Stone, very very cool. Actually, it's not just a planogram. I think this is actually the holder. Am I correct in saying that, or is that just because aren't those the crystals? Or are they sitting on
That's
top?
the crystals, and it looks like they're sitting on top of a
Okay, they're sitting
printed
on top.
sheet
Okay.
with all of them. Yeah, it
Got
doesn't look like it's in plastic inset or anything.
Got you. I was hoping for it. But I guess you're right. This is a Dorite Shard, the Scarlax Eve. I love these names. The Sith Strike, of course, and the Rancor's Claw. Wow, some really cool lore, some really cool world building happening here. And of course, as I said earlier, they're really hoping for collectors to pick this up as well because
Here,
again,
can I do this real quick and be super nerd?
sure.
Durite is the black metal that is used to make that torture droid that we see in A New Hope.
Oh, is that right?
Nerd.
There it is.
It's so cool
Look
that
at
they're
that.
doing that stuff, though. I love that.
Is that
Like
Dr.
that.
Afra's specialty? Is that what that is? Like,
Maybe, yeah, she's a nut. And
oh,
I'm
she's
a big nerd. I'm a big nerd. Like when it comes
absolutely.
to Star Wars, I love Star Wars, regardless of like where people are at with the franchise. Do you see even the Arabesh underneath each of those things? They wrote the names of each of the Kyber crystals that you were reading in English,
Yep.
are written in Arabesh. And the design of it is very, to me, like the color and everything's very ornate. It feels very High Republic, which is exciting to sort
Yeah,
of see more toys of,
absolutely.
accessible for young people and kids. So
Yeah, this is definitely a must buy for any Star Wars fan. Again, it's got the plan. It's literally got the planogram. It's got even the presentation is so nice. You know what I mean? The whole just as a set. If you were an inbox collector, this is a gorgeous set to pick up. I'm very very excited about this one. I'd probably pick one up just because. Hopefully, it's not subject to too many. Like hopefully, I get here and we're already past where the point we are right now. So that'll be excellent. Are you a fan of the games at all, Brick?
video games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% am, but I don't really play a ton these days just because of time. So you know what I've become
Sure.
what's become my thing, because I'm a lore junkie, is I watch people's walkthroughs in cinematics. So
Sure.
I've like watched all of the video games. I'm still sort of like finishing off Outlaws. Um, I think it's like on the final level or whatever. But I love them just for the story. So
Mhm.
whether it's
I
these
like
and
watching I like watching Dex play it. You know what I mean? My
yeah,
brother Dex. I like watching when he plays because it's really cool, and it's really funny whenever he can't beat somebody. Just like the days of old, he just gets so pissed and throws a controller on the floor. It's just hilarious. Doesn't do well for my floors though, but it's still a fun ride. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Were you saying something? Finishing your thought?
about the games?
Yeah.
No, just that like there's a ton that I think has, like, I love that they're going into these Jedi Survivor slash Fallen Order, because I think that's one, a popular game, and it's about to have it like its third, what I'm assuming is its third final installment. So there's
Yep.
this guy, but I want to see some of Iden Versio, like the first, what was that? The shooter, I think it was called, it was like their
Sure.
first video game post Disney, where it's like it's essentially like a shooter, like a
There are
something
lots. I
forces.
mean,
No, I'm talking Star Wars, where it was like for the longest time. It's based on a larger franchise. Help me out, chat.
it's not
Hold
Battlefront. I
on.
know that. It's
Yeah,
oh, is it Battlefront?
it was, yeah, Star Wars
Okay.
Battlefront,
Okay.
and then
Battlefront.
they added a sort of DLC like version with a story, and it followed
Yes. Yes, I heard about
Yes,
that one.
and like I would love to see figures of those too. I'd love to see Outlaws figures. Like I think they're important parts of canon. And so like when I saw this guy, Cal Kestis, and you could kind of like, because in the game you can redesign them
Yeah.
and do all sorts of like skins.
I wanted to
Um,
highlight that. Yeah.
it's cool. I love
It
that.
is. It is cool. So this is going to be an interesting set bar now because they decided just to. I guess it's the most. I don't know if it's the most downloaded preload skin or something like that, but it's really interesting to see he has two different heads on this set. I thought that was hilarious. So this is the Cal Kestis and Turgle. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. And Skoova Steve.
I don't know if we're
Um,
big. What
I
was
I'm
that
not a hun
movie?
I'm not 100% alarmed. Maybe you can walk us through it, Brick, but, these guys look fun. Like, this is just one of those wacky fun
Mhm.
sets that come out of the Star Wars universe, and definitely a lot of fun to be had on this one for sure. Which character? Do you know which character is this? Is this Turgle or is this Skoova
That's
Steve?
Turgle.
Right,
That's
Turgle,
Turgle, and then Scuba Steve,
this little guy.
who has got to be named after, what was that Adam Sandler movie where he has a little kid who he adopts?
Big
Anyway,
Daddy.
I think, yeah, Big Daddy.
Big
Remember
Daddy.
Scuba Steve,
Yeah, was
go
he the
to
one in the park?
sleep.
Was he the one in the park? Or
No, Scuba Steve. There's this figure that the kid carried, all a toy, an action figure, and then to
That's
get him
right.
to
Now I
sleep, he
remember.
dressed up like Scuba Steve, and so I'm
Now,
sure it's a riff
yes,
on
yes,
that.
it's coming back to me
Yes,
now. It's definitely coming back to now. 100%.
but
Yeah,
Scuba Steve is a little guy.
I remember that now. Yeah, that was great. Absolutely. This guy looks fun. I mean, he's definitely one of those wacky aliens that come out of.
Mhm.
He's a freaking frog, man. He's a freaking gigantic frog. But he looks really really cool. I don't remember which game he comes. Was it the latest incarnation of this game,
It
or
was
was he always
I think it was Fallen. I keep saying Fallen Order. I don't know if that's what it's called, or
Fallen
Fallen
Jedi?
Jedi. I don't know how much spoiler you want to get, but there's a High Republic connection in it. But yes,
Oh, okay.
I think that's from that game, not the first one, not Survivor. Oh God, I'm mixing them up. That's totally wrong. Survivor was the newest one.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Survivor. So
yes,
there's Fallen Order, there's Survivor, and then there's
yes.
I don't know what the
And
other
then
one
we
is.
don't know what the third
The
one is
third
going
one,
to
yeah,
be
yeah,
called.
that's exactly how that
But
works.
yeah, that's right. And so he's from Survivor.
Okay, so that's
Turgle and
that's that's very cool. He looks awesome
look at
and
that.
very
Look at that
very.
profile.
I know.
That silhouette. It's cool, right? It's just weird. I love weird. You know
I
me.
love
I love
weird too. That
creatures
is
and stuff.
really really cool. I love the holster. I love the overall minimalist design. Now, am I seeing very little articulation on the legs and the arms, or is that intentional, or like what, or is that a
Are you
bendy
looking at the
wire? Like,
knees?
yeah,
That I don't know, but you're right. I don't see any cuts for joints, but I wonder, that'd be kind of weird because look how it's bunching there at the back of the
no,
knee.
I wonder if they're still experimenting with that plastic situation that they have now, with the
What do you
Hulk.
mean?
The soft rubber, not
Oh,
rubber,
for the
silicone.
torso with like an underlay?
Yeah, yeah,
Huh.
yeah, yeah.
Like a frame?
I wonder if they're
Like
because
seamless bodies.
well, check it out. This leg is all of a sudden straight,
Mhm.
but the previous version, it's kind of bent.
I think you're right.
Right?
They're
Am
probably
I
experimenting with it.
imagining that, or is it? Yeah, this one's kind of straight again too.
I
That's
don't
super
follow
cute.
Black Series enough, to be honest with you, to know if they tend to use renders or photos. They look like, to my eye, they look like photos.
These are photos, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But it's if that's actually what they're doing, that's interesting. Because a lot of people are scared that yeah, look, these legs are more or less straight now.
Yeah.
That is
People
crazy.
are scared of the material lasting?
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
don't
if
know
it
if you
was
got
on
any
here
details on
in one of your chats or something. So again, I guess I've become very age conscious, but I'm 48 now.
that.
Um, I don't know how long I'm gonna be on the planet, so I think it's gonna last at least as long as I'm around to enjoy them, and so I'm not too worried about that, but,
No, for
you
sure.
know,
But it is interesting to see that they're going in this type of direction.
yeah.
I'm fascinated by that.
I
So
like to
yeah,
see them do R&D, like to experiment with some new thing,
yeah,
so have at it.
fascinating though. Fascinating.
And it's
Um,
not that new, right? Aren't Barbies like that essentially?
no, I think a lot of people were pointing to the fact that Storm Collectibles does a lot of that.
Yeah, Storm
So
does that squishy, but not for
yeah,
arms. Storm has proper
no,
joints,
no,
more
I
for
think
the torso.
this is the first time I've seen an arm like this. I've never seen that
That's
before.
a
So
I'm wondering if dolls use it, or, I know Seamless
I know that
Figures use something like that.
what's it called? Batman 89 from Mezco
Mhm,
did something like that.
mhm.
So I mean that's definitely something. I mean it's out there. We know that it's out there.
Check out Sarah Series Lupin's last comment.
Sure. Let's have a
Um,
look at that.
just in terms of our stretchy thing, I think, I like to be as objective and evidence-based as possible, and, like, he's got that.
Yeah, but that's one of those bendy. I know what you're saying, Satus Lupin, but that's a bendy wire. You actually, if you'll notice, there are like three
Like
holes.
Bendham's.
There are like
Yeah.
three holes somewhere. You'll always notice that because those three holes are actually what hold the wire in place. This does not look like that. This looks like something completely different.
This looks like it
Um,
has joints underneath with sort of a rubber overlay on
yep.
top, which, if anyone's familiar with the old Mattel, what was it? The Steve. Oh my gosh, Steve Austin, $6 Million Man.
Yes,
They had a villain who had like a rubber overlay
correct.
and joints underneath, and so it's old. It's not new technology
No,
per
it's not.
se, but
No.
like, and seamless bodies do it. But it's cool to see them work it into this line. I will say, like, Black Series, I wish was a stronger line, like a more consistently stronger line. I've heard people criticize it because of things like, oh, they don't have the right characters, or they don't have the thing that I love from that one movie that is better than whatever movie you like. I've heard all those arguments. To me, my biggest concern is more about like sculpts and paints being
Yeah,
like stronger, articulation being better.
yeah.
I
But
just think Star Wars deserves it.
it's the problem. The problem with Star Wars is what Lucas started way back when was to make every single character ever made, right? And that's the problem in the movies, right? And that's the problem. It's hard to actually get that done. But you know what? To their credit, they've tried their best. The real problem with the latest iterations of Black Series that there's just been too many repaints, too many releases, too many of the same thing over and over again, and a lot of people are just tired of it. So seeing new characters like this really brings me hope that
Mhm.
hopefully there's something new to be had here, like Scuba Steve, Scuba Steve. This guy looks freaking awesome. Not much
I didn't look.
articulation on him.
I was gonna say I hadn't looked closely to see that, but just
Yeah.
fun and weird.
Oh yeah, just so great. He's got a freaking
Is he a
starfish on him.
slug or does he have any movement?
He has like I think it's rotational, just like everything else.
Oh,
The arms rotate a little bit. I think his
okay.
his his legs might not even rotate. I mean, I think that's about the pose you're going to get him in. But pretty sure he didn't really move that much in the game either. He was probably just one of those cool characters that you sort of fell in love with, right?
Scuba
But
Steve.
But yeah, he's got some really cool things going on. I like the sculpt, definitely cool, and I love the canopy with the fogged out window.
Mhm.
That's really neat.
That's a good. I do like that too. The sort of like the mist, the humidity in there.
Yeah, I love it.
It's cool.
And again, it's just a lot of world building on these characters. BB-8 is included. We've had him
Um,
before in other collections.
yeah,
Obviously,
that's not the name, but BB-8 was the rolling droid in the
sorry, you're right.
sequel
It's
series. I
what is it?
forget his name though, but
BD. This is BD. I think.
BD
Sorry?
BD1.
Yeah,
I think
BD1.
it's
That's right. Or
yeah,
BD something. I know it's BD something. Anyway, so
yeah.
I know the chat's gonna to yell at me again. They always do. But
Nerd with the suits on it.
yeah,
Yes, we know. I think it's BD1, but
yeah. I think
he was
it's
cool, and he and then ended up in like the Mandalorian, and there's sort of a somewhat version of a droid, kind of like this now in the Disney parks. A little bit larger, but it's cool. They fully
it's
walk
BD1.
and
It is
stuff.
BD1.
Mhm.
It is BD1. Yeah, yeah. You're correct. You're
Cool
correct,
droid.
sir. It is. It is. Oh yeah. He's a cute droid. Apparently they're running like you said. They're running around Disney World right now, all over
Mhm.
the place.
I
So
love,
obviously,
yeah, I love that he like jumps on your shoulder and does a lot of cool like. Sometimes it's like a pet like vibe. You get like,
he's your healer. You know what I mean?
uh-huh,
He's the dude
yeah,
that keeps you alive,
give
right?
you your
So
stim packs.
yeah, exactly. The stems, yeah. And of course there's Cal Kestis. Now, I think this guy's gonna quickly become a very big fan favorite because he's got a trucker version of Cal Kestis included with this one. The overdue is kind of rough and tumble on this edition here. Love the upgrades that you can do to your lightsaber.
Mhm.
Obviously they've made it a dual wielder on this one. Don't know if there's a second emitter on the other side. Doesn't look like it, but it's really cool to see how you can upgrade the packs. He comes with a blaster, and this one, of course, is looking more Nerf herder like. So he's
Yeah.
got the vest, he's got the pants, right?
It's his
Looking very
smuggler disguise.
absolutely very much the Han Solo look. But he's got his trucker appearance too, which is killing me. Oh, it does look like it's a yeah. You can make it a dual wielder
I'm
on
not
the
sure if
other
it
side.
connects. Does it connect?
I'm hoping they do. That would be really
Oh,
cool.
yeah, it does. Look at that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it clips on the end.
that is so cool. I'm looking forward to that because again, you can in the game you can customize it to so many different degrees, right? So it'll be really cool to see that. Yep, there it is. So he can become
Killer.
very, very much like a Sith sort of dual wielder, but it's not limited to Sith anymore. Like anyone can do it. The game really proved that, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the High
And
Republic's totally shown that there's, precedent for all sorts of cool sabers and non-sabers.
yeah,
We got some light whips back in canon
ooh,
now.
that's crazy.
So
That's nuts. But again, the pack out's great, but then he also comes with an extra head, which I affectionately call the trucker.
yeehaw.
He's got the party. He's got the mullet. The mullet's back in, guys. The mullet is back in. He's got party in the back and business in the front. This is
Mm-hmm.
and he's got the handlebars, man. That's classic right there. That is so good. I think this figure is gonna be very, very popular, in my opinion. I think that a lot of people are gonna be gunning for this one. Which is a good sign, because I think that the gaming greats lineup is really, really cool. And they're no longer GameStop exclusives. I think they used to be like and sometimes they used to be just GameStop exclusives. So now it's great to see that other retailers are going to be able to get their hands on this one. So, what was the price on this one, Rick? I don't know. What was it again? It was
I don't know.
all right. This one is priced at $44.99 for the Black Series Cal Kestis, Turgle, and Skoova Steve. So $44.99. Again, that's subject to tariffs. We will. That's going to be
That's
a
actually not bad. That's
Yeah.
essentially that many figures plus BD.
Yeah.
For 44, huh?
Yeah, but mind you, the other two don't articulate that much.
I know. Yeah,
But
true.
as accessories, it's a pretty cool set. But we'll see. Hopefully by then, by the time these are pre-order, these probably will go on pre-order. If they haven't already, I think they are already available at certain retailers. Definitely on Hasbro Pulse. But by the time they reach us, hopefully the whole situation will be resolved by then. But you just never know. This is interesting. They actually went back into the archives, which they've been doing a lot lately. I thought this was neat, and they're actually bringing back Chewbacca from A New Hope. So this is the original way Chewbacca was on screen for A New Hope.
Yep.
And of course, we'll get to it in a second. But they've already released Luke Skywalker in New Hope. He even had his I think it was the what are they called? The vintage collection speeder
Oh yeah.
that was released a little while ago, along with his farmer's hat, which I thought was
Yep.
neat. That's a deep cut for a lot of people who don't really follow that much lore. But it was really neat to be able to see that version of Luke, and it's really cool to be able to see this version of Chewie. We get to see the really humanistic eyes. Yeah, this one's a lot of fun. What are your thoughts on Chewbacca here?
I think it actually looks really good for Chewie. The face is always
Yeah.
challenging to do, and that it's funny because I think that looks very much like what we see in the film, but it also has a little bit of the a little bit from like here up of the old Kenner figure that was really well manicured. I don't know if you remember, but he was like his hair was all like perfect. The old 3.75 Kenner.
Absolutely.
I think it looks good. I would say my thing is like the cuts that they have to do, and I understand they have to in terms of like the head is discreetly, the first stop's there, and then it's a different color. That's the kind of stuff where I'm like, oh, I wish they had the budget and would commit the budget to do a little bit slightly more blends and stuff going with the paint, but it's cool.
Yeah. But I you know what? I can almost see Peter Mayhew in the face there. It's like the eyes is where it's really at. You know what I mean?
It's totally in the eyes and the size of the snout, the overall shape.
Yeah.
We were talking about Disney parks earlier, and that's the thing that always kills me about the Disney parks. Like I know when I go there, I'm not going to see Ray that looks like Daisy Ridley, but if it's like a thing in a costume and a suit, I'd love them to just nail it as much as possible because it's a suit. But
100%. But when you see a Chewbacca, you're gonna see at least a furry boy. And you know what? I give props to anybody who goes out in that kind of heat in that kind of costume. Like I give huge props to those guys. It cannot be easy. Anyone who's Darth Maul, or sorry, not Darth Maul. Anyone who's like Darth Vader or any of the stormtroopers, those guys must suffer. I mean, like really. It's not like you're Luke Skywalker, even though Luke is wearing black right now, because they don't have the farm boy Luke right now. But any actually is I think actually it's the older Luke right now, right? The one who's actually
it's the Mando.
The Mando. That's
it's
crazy.
the
That's
one
crazy.
from that era. Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy to be able to walk around like that. I love the crossbow blaster. Looks so good. This guy looks awesome in my opinion. But it's hard to tell. Is that a double elbow? I think it is, right? But I don't think it kind of looks.
I'm
like
not
it.
sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but it looks like it'll stop. Even if it is a double, it's gonna stop at where the top of this part is.
Yeah, because it does look like a much longer joint, but
It looks like there's room there, and you can kind of see when he had his blaster up, his crossbow up. It looked like that. That looks to me like that was the full extension.
I also like the extra long fur. That's something that a bit of detail that that's not on most Chewbaccas. So that was definitely from the very first New Hope, I think. So interesting to see that. But yeah, how much is he priced at right now? So Chewbacca, and come on, where is it? How come it's not going?
I did say I could hang out for about an hour, but I'm good.
Are you okay?
Yeah, somebody came home and is taking care of things, so I can hang out for a little bit.
There it is.
It's been a while, man.
Um,
And I've been on
Yeah,
here
it has been
for
a while. It has been a while. Chewbacca's priced at $24.99, which is a regular price. So things have not obviously again pending tariffs, but things have not gone too badly for that one. And then we talked about earlier. We talked about the
yeah,
Dr.
that's Dash.
Dash Rendar,
But
and
we all know that Dash was, again, this was between Empire and Return of the Jedi. They created Dash because in my opinion, the best Star Wars character from that whole trilogy. And I'd say that the original trilogy and the last one, his presence was felt, was Han Solo, was missing,
Solo.
right? He was in
Absolutely.
carbonite. So they
I mean,
needed a roguish, kind of dude. Yeah.
he's got his gun. I mean, like
So,
he's got the same blaster for the
yeah.
most part. So
So as much as I like him, I'm excited about the next figure.
yeah, of course, and we're going to get to that right now. Yeah, the scruffy nerf herder himself in his original colors
Yeah.
and that original windswept hair is looking pretty good. Harrison Ford is back as went too far, as the scruffy nerf herder himself. It is Han Solo, looking dapper in his
Yeah.
rogue kind of uniform here.
Neck
So
down,
he
I
looks
think
great.
he's fantastic.
I love the
Neck up, I think
yeah
he's good, but yeah, they got the props, right? The
yeah.
little communicator.
Yeah, they got the communicator. They got the little no, that's the communicator. They got the little attachments, to fix the ship. Right.
Mhm.
They got the elevator pants with the indicators on the side. You know what I mean? Those are so much fun.
His
And of course, you got
stripes,
his
I
boots.
remember in EU they were like Corellian something stripes, but
Yeah,
not quite canon anymore.
but he looks awesome. I think this is the version a lot of people have been hoping for, the New Hope version, and he's looking pretty cool. $24.99 for this version of Han, and yeah, I think he looks the part. Like he's not bad. I mean, it.
No, he's not bad. I think
Yeah,
he does look the part.
yeah,
It's just there's something about the face, like both ways, in both directions. I think there's really good things about that sculpt that really capture a New Hope Han, like for where he was. Like his face as an actor, as a person, changed between the time they filmed,
yep.
77 and but there's some things about, especially straight on, you see, I was like, oh, okay, there's things going on with the cheeks that are there. And then there's some other stuff that's like not so much,
Yeah, he's
but
a bit. It looks like he's a bit chubby, like depending on
yeah,
the
there's a
angle you
little
look at.
extra flesh on the
Yeah,
cheeks, yeah.
yeah.
But
But
it's not bad.
yeah, I mean, as you said, he changed a lot. Actually, in the 3 or 4
They
years
all
that,
did.
that they had, they all especially Mark Hamill. I mean, we know what happened
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah,
But
yep.
I think you could definitely you could do worse with a Han Solo like this. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
totally. It's not
sure.
bad. Like, that right there, I think that looks really great from that angle.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
I'm a big Masterverse fan, this, and my big complaint about all the Mattel human heads is
Yeah, they just
the
can't
heads
get it right.
aren't there.
They just can't get it.
Hasbro, as far as the retail lines go, still like rules in the face sculpts between this classified, Marvel Legends. They do much better human heads.
100%. I totally agree. And again, it comes down to that facial scan technology. Things are always moving. So really cool to see him. Another gaming great in the line, of course, if you are following Jedi Survivor, is
Merrin.
Nightsister Merrin. Um, Her storyline is very unique. I mean, like if we, looking at what's happening with the current with Ahsoka and the Night Sisters returning, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of spoilers, by the way. Sorry if anybody hasn't watched it. Any Star Wars fan worth their salt is watching it right now, but don't know if that
You're
series is
all
gonna
worth your
uh,
salt.
so it's crazy. But yeah, really great to see Marin here. And I like the fact that in the second game she got to go a little bit more in the civvies. She wasn't wearing her Night Sister robes. You know what I mean? It's always interesting when you see characters go like more casual kind of if
Mhm,
that's a thing, right?
mhm, mhm.
She comes with a couple of accessories like her staff, her casting blast effect. And yeah, she's looking pretty cool. What are your thoughts on Merrin?
I think she looks really cool. Again, and that's I love every aspect of it. Once we get to the faces, I don't something about me and human sculpts. But that said, it's a really good human sculpt. I think it's really good. There's something about their deco that trips me up a little bit.
Mm.
Like you notice, you know, you're a designer. You know when you're using like a vector for like a letter versus a bitmap, and there's that sort of like that laser print on a vector versus
Yep.
say an inkjet.
Yep.
If
Yep.
you look at their faces, they're softer, right? The details a little softer, and you can actually sort of see some of the dot patterns. So they aren't as crisp. Like those lines on
Yeah.
her face aren't as crisp.
There's going to
Her
be a difference
eyeliner's not as
between.
crisp.
Yeah, there's always a difference. Like if you look at Super 7, they like to paint, whereas
Yeah.
this is more
Yep.
of a tempo, right?
Yep.
So you're going to see a
Yep.
dot matrix idea here, like you're going to see literal dots, right? You know, you don't even have to look. You don't even need a loop to see it. You can actually see it with your
No.
bare eyes, right? But if you're having trouble, just use your phone, and the macro lens will show everything, right?
Yep.
But even at that level, it's there's still a softness to the face as well, because at the end of the
Yep.
day, nothing like not everything can be a paint master, right?
Yeah.
That's really the consideration. But
I'll
she's
just
got
say like what trips me out as a visual person is when you like zoom into her and you look at things like in any of these pictures and you look at like the crisp paint on say her necklace, right? It's real defined. Oh, okay, her jacket is black and then it crisp to the gold. And then you go up to her face and then there's just like there's a weird soft transition from like her eyeliner. Like that's what I'm talking about. So it looks like I'm looking at maybe like two different art directions.
yeah.
Anyway, nerdy.
It's more over
But she's great.
yeah, it's more over how they decided to mass produce these, right?
Yeah.
Again,
It's the ink. It's the inkjet. It's the jet spray that they're doing. It's not even tampo because like tampo is literally pad printing and often it can be real crisp.
yeah,
But I guess it's the type of tampo. It's a bitmap versus a vector is what
yeah.
it is.
She's got these wonderful little details like this gold medallion that's hanging off her belt.
That's
Again,
cool.
the heraldry of the Night Sisters, right? Because even though her sisters are gone, she still keeps her faith in her the practices of her order, right? So
Hmm.
even though she might not necessarily believe in their cause anymore, she still is a Night Sister at heart. So great to see her, and wonderful figure. I think there is is there still a premium on the gaming rates? I
Like
don't
an
know if there
extra
is.
additional cost. I
Yeah,
don't know. I got a K2S, not a K2, but the sort of K2 droid, prison droid from that game, and it didn't have a premium that I know. It's actually kind of why I got it. It
yeah.
seemed
Apparently not.
regular price and on sale. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently not. It's 24.99 for Merrin.
Yeah.
So yeah, a great price on her. So yeah, a lot of great surprises that were released on here. Some cosplay options as well. If you are into, of course, first generation troopers, this is a great helmet. So yeah, guys, if you are into your clone troopers, I'm into helmets. I'm a huge helmet guy. So this is another one of those ones which I'm definitely going to be looking out for a sale on these guys, because I just can't do the full price on these. They're just a little bit too far in my price zone. But I do like the new details that they're putting into the helmets now. That's really a lot of fun. Are you into the helmets at all, or into any of the cosplay items, Rick?
I have a couple in my classroom, and most of them were gifted to me. So like I have a Darth Vader, I have a Kylo
Nice.
Ren. But you know, they aren't like these. These are like the Black Series ones are a little bit more premium than what I have.
Got you. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You have the more Spirit Halloween type of things, or something like that,
Not
or
quite that, but they were like voice changers.
oh,
And they were
got you.
cool,
Yeah,
but like they're not like a full helmet. They're
yeah.
like yeah.
I like the masks, right? The
A
ones that
little bit. Yeah,
yeah,
it's not quite half because you have the hoods that go over them that hide it.
got you.
But
Yeah.
these I've seen these and the deco, it's definitely like a higher level of deco and
Yeah, these are great.
sculpt on.
Anything with the any part of the Black Series versions are really really cool. And actually, I'm wrong. This is actually the 501st Legion, so this is actually a second generation trooper. You can tell by the high bridge, the lower bridge actually.
Yeah, that's Ahsoka's
No, Ahsoka's
crew, right?
552nd. No, this is the 501st is Anakin's troop.
Anakin's, but
Yeah,
didn't he sort of like
he split off to the
but
four.
when right, but when she came back, they kind of painted that striping in honor of her,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought.
that's what I was saying.
Mm,
She
yep.
commands the I'm pretty sure. Again, somebody in the comments is gonna.
Oh, they gave her own thing, her own.
They split the division. So basically, she took. She
That's right.
went to
You're
Mandalore.
right.
Yeah, she went to Mandalore to
That's
defend
right.
the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, 332nd. Yeah, they're the 332nd.
332nd.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and I believe the 332nd is getting a cosplay helmet as well. So that one's always a
Killer.
lot of fun, right? And the last release, which was very much a surprise. Actually, no, it's not. My apologies, not the last release. This was the Japanese exclusive, which I think is only being released in Japan for now, unless they change that. Let me just.
Yeah.
Do you remember the name of this character? I can't remember his name.
I don't. But just do Star Wars Visions.
Ronin.
Black Series.
It's the Ronin. The Ronin is going to be Black Series Ronin, available for purchase exclusively at the Hasbro. Yep, this is only available in Japan. So
I wonder. I wonder if this colorway is going to be
perhaps,
exclusive
right,
to
the black and white?
Japan. Yeah, they
100%.
kind of did that. Yeah.
Because this one right now, this version that we're going to take a look at right now is only available for purchase at the Hasbro booth, Hall 1, 3 through 7, during Star Wars Celebration. But as we know, these tend to show up elsewhere eventually. I mean, Canada often gets things that are supposed to be absolutely exclusive. But anyway, not that I'm trying to imply something, but yeah, the box looks gorgeous. It's this wonderful Japanese style box it's got a paper tie on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
gorgeous.
It's just really gorgeous. In terms of as you know, you got two graphic designers looking at this, right? And this is just like design porn.
It's
right here.
packaging. Yeah, it's totally packaging design fun, man.
Yeah, it's just so cool.
It's so nice.
You know,
trying to paint that painterly, like Japanese painting style, like watercolor style. Ooh.
It's so good, absolutely. And of course, you know, as design nerds, we can go, "Oh my god, that thing's like so far off." But you know, it's one of these things where look how close that seam is.
Line up.
But it's wonderful that that they're putting this out there. I mean, look at that. That's just gorgeous, right? That is just beautiful. Like, love it. So good.
Did you watch Visions?
You know what? No, I haven't watched Visions. And I should actually watch. I don't have.
They're short. They're like short.
Yeah. I don't have Disney Plus, so I'm gonna have to figure a way to see it. You know,
fair enough.
There are ways. Rick. There are ways. Don't worry about that. Opening up the box, you see this wonderful illustration.
I like what you said. Design porn. It's totally design porn.
It
man.
is.
This thing is gorgeous. Look at that.
Like, look at that. Like, just.
I love the treatment of the title in the painted style.
Absolutely. The brush stroke.
Yeah.
Love the brush. You know, it's just so good.
Gorgeous.
But as you said, here's a great example of what Brick was talking about. You notice the paint style, right? But then you look at the vector, right? On the again, this is where design nerds gather, right? We're like, what? That's definitely.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
That is such a vector right there. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it myself, both of pointing it out and doing it and executing it that way.
It is gorgeous though. You know what I mean? It is gorgeous to just look at this and take it all in. Really,
what's beautiful about the Visions, like especially that, is it embraces like the roots of Star Wars, meaning like George Lucas was in love with Kurosawa.
Yep.
And if you look at that, like that's exactly what that is. That could be like, you know,
it's a wraparound case, and it's just beautiful. Look at this. Such a beautiful, and I imagine that that it might be magnetic as well. That would be a chef's kiss on top. But the entire presentation is just absolutely thrilling. Again, this is one of those convention exclusives that they can afford to do it this way because again, they're only sold at the convention. And I love the straw hat on top of the R2 unit. You know what I mean? That just kills me. The Astro Droid unit, that just kills me, man. That's just so much fun. The juxtapositioning of ancient Japanese samurai warrior and futuristic Jedi, you know, noble. Or Sith noble, whoever this guy happens to be. It's just so much fun. It's got a freaking bamboo rod for crying out loud. Like, that is just crazy. Just absolute toy porn here. Absolute toy porn. And you can see seven samurai in here. You can see you know, just again, he's a Ronin, right? So yeah, you can see so many great things. You know, it's I think I'm gonna have to close the door soon. It's no C. Jessam, you know what I mean?
But
it
100%.
it is still pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like that's a very very cool look. I love they do have the soft goods on the outside, but again the actual robe itself, you know what I mean? Tattered, torn, lived in, very very cool. I love the sandals. You know, seriously, he's like a warrior monk, just wandering in the
Yeah, the
wilderness. You know
tubby.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so good. And again, he's got the the two lightsabers. One of them is actual, more physical. It's such a great look.
If when you get a chance to sort of watch this specific episode,
Yeah,
which is actually my favorite from that first season, I think it was the first, yeah. It's cool. It's just story wise, it sets up some cool elements. These aren't canon; they're meant to be kind of like almost like Elseworlds,
yeah.
but
Just
it's
little
cool. Like it really plays
self-contained
with, like we
episodes.
said, the Kurosawa sort of roots of Star Wars. It plays with the notion of like light and dark, and what it is. I love the relationship between him and his droid, and
Yeah.
what his droid does. It feels like almost like R2 and Luke in Return of the Jedi. Cool
I love
stuff.
it. I love it because the straw hat has no practical purpose whatsoever. He literally is just wearing it for the look. It's just absolutely ridiculous, but it works so well. And he's again, what is the point of these
Yeah.
freaking like tassels on
It's
his feet? It just makes no
it-
sense. But
it's like he's wearing sandals, or like,
exactly,
yeah, it's so
it
cool.
is just so much fun on that level, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really it's just a wonderful again, as you said, Elseworld kind of situation, right? So yeah, apparently for now anyway, these guys are only going to be available at the as you said, the colorway probably. The colorway is only going to be available.
I'm guessing. I'm wondering.
Yeah. But I like the fact that they're using the more updated version of R2. He has compartments and other places. I wonder if his neck actually raises. That would be neat. Yep. Oh, and as I was saying it, as I was saying, it literally it read my mind. Yeah. So there you go. It is actually one of the most recent versions of R2. Great stuff. I love the fact that that's actually a thing, and it's even got some tempo on or sorry, some weathering on the front of R2 as well. So
I
yeah,
think
great.
you're right. It's probably pad printed.
Yep.
That's how Hasbro rolls. Tempo.
Yep. Yep. You can see it right
Yeah,
there.
it looks good. It looks good.
Yep. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And yeah, look at R2. Or I don't know what to call him, but look at the droid. He looks so cool. Love it.
He's a
Yep.
deadly droid.
So
You
this
watch
one
him.
really, eh? I gotta
Look,
I,
he's
I
got a
gotta I gotta watch
walking
it.
stick too. Look at that. That's dope.
Yeah. I love it. It's so cool. The bamboo walking stick. Just so neat. So yeah, he's only available right now at the Star Wars Celebration in Japan. The Ronin R5 D56. Wow, it is 15,000 yen. So 69.99 for this version of the set. That's pricey, but considering the design, the overall presentation, I could definitely see this selling out very very quickly. Brick, I think this one's going to
It's also an
go pretty
exclusive,
quick. Absolutely,
so there's a
absolutely.
premium
Yeah,
cost
yeah.
for any of these
Well, I mean,
con
again,
exclusive.
those boxes alone, like knowing what we know about print, this
Yep.
this thing's
Yep.
ridiculous. This thing
Yep.
is absolutely ridiculous. It's even
That
got
little
it's even got the Japanese sleeve
yeah,
holder.
and the twine. No,
Yeah,
it's great.
it's great. Now, the
They
one
know
thing
what they're
I did,
doing.
yeah, absolutely, I'm completely impressed. The one thing I don't think any of us expected, to be perfectly honest with you, was a freaking bantha. I had
Like a
no idea.
Bantha. Yeah.
I had no idea this was coming out. I had absolutely no idea they were making a bantha. Like, out of all the things that I could have wanted, out of the New Hope, I'm not really sure I was thinking bantha. But now that it's here, Rick,
Oh man, as a
I
kid for my Kenner collection,
yeah,
I was like, "Where's the Bantha? I need a Bantha." They gave us a dewback back in the day, but
yeah,
like, give
yeah,
me those big old Banthas.
yeah. This, but I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure it's exactly what I expected for a bantha, but I think in and of itself, it's neat. There's definitely a charm about this, but on these first initial shots, it looks like a ball of fur. Like that's actually what it looks like to me. But it's neat. I think it's really really neat.
It's true. It does look like actually it could be sort of like an in-camera alien,
Yeah,
like because the hair and the horn part. But
yeah,
pay attention to its mouth as you
yes.
scroll through the
The
pictures.
mouth is I think the mouth is the star of the show, and you know what? That's what she said. But no, seriously, it's definitely a fun figure because there is a lot of articulation on this figure. Surprise, the head turns. I think
Yep.
maybe even the feet move. which is awesome. But yeah, he's a full character. I mean, this thing's actually pretty big as a vehicle. He's pretty massive, and he'll fit in with so many different versions, right? I mean, like obviously they rode Banthas in the Book of Boba Fett. You know what I mean? There was obviously
you mean like a Bantha? Yeah.
yes.
I don't know if you remember. Or like a Bantha. Yeah.
I wonder if he includes like what would be really cool. It's not, but I would have loved to see it including some Pudu. I thought I thought I would have loved to see some Bantha Pudu. If
cool.
that I would have died. That would have been a must have purchase if there was some Bantha Pudu included with this. I would have been instant buy. Because of the Tusken Warrior. So it's really cool to see this. And as you said, the saddle is really nice too. Actually, not a lot of deco on it. It's a bit plain. There's a little bit of a wash, but I think that's about as far as it goes. Is he sitting inside it? No, there it is. There's the leg.
Old school.
Yep.
No. Yeah, they can move their legs now. So
yeah, and there it is. There it is. He's got a gum line too. Like that's really cool.
It's got gums and a couple of big old
Bantha teeth.
Almost baleen teeth. Yeah. It's cool.
You don't want to. That's freaking Appa. This is where Appa.
Yes. Yes. I never made that connection, but yeah, you're 100% right.
This is where Appa came from. 100%. There's just no denying it. This is definitely where Appa came from. Somebody looked and said, "I need an Appa in the Avatar: The Last Airbender," and I need a Bantha in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and they got it. they totally got it. Tusken Warrior is pretty cool. I mean, he definitely looks like he's out of the New Hope. He's not a more up one of the newer versions of the Tusken Raiders. Exactly, the Sand People. Look at that. That is really cool, actually. See, when they start moving the hair around, it looks a lot better. Because with some of the shots that they had earlier, it looked just like a tuft of fur. Now that I can see the feet, I'm very much this shot is probably the money shot right here. That's the money shot. This is
the feet are cool because in production, right? They famously use elephants for a couple of wide shots.
Yep, the walking shots as well. I think.
So take a look at those feet.
Yep, the elephant feet. Absolutely, lots of fun to be had here. Look at the size of that gaping. Like it actually opens up a pretty good ways. Actually, it's not bad.
It does.
And I do love the rooted hair. I mean, look, you can really tell it's stuffed in everywhere. But this is gonna be a nightmare to manage. I think you're gonna see pieces falling out
hair. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You can see the head articulation. Very, very cool.
I dig it though, man. One of my favorite lines as a kid was Sectars, and this totally gave me fun Sectars vibes.
Absolutely. See, looking at it here with the big old tail, I'm into it. I'm into it with the way they've really styled it on the packaging. I'm into it.
And that totally the tail, as you put it, is like exactly what you said. It's Appa.
Yeah,
or vice versa. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. To me, this was the biggest surprise of the whole, and it actually comes with a carded Tusken Raider, so that's really neat for all you inbox collectors. I think this is definitely the one which a lot of people are probably going to gun for. How much was it listed for? Why is it not doing it? I don't understand why it's. There it is. Not bad. $69.99. It's up there. That's pretty pricey. That's $70 for. But he is a pretty decently sized vehicle. Animal mount. So yeah, definitely. If you are in dare I say that this is the first Bantha? Has he been? I think they've released a Bantha before.
I'm not sure. I haven't paid enough attention. It's the first that I've remember, but I'd be surprised if they haven't. It feels like something that should. Let me find out while you keep going.
Yeah, we'll just round it out a little bit. Some other notable characters just to talk about. Book of Boba Fett, Cobb Vanth. No, it's a no.
It's a no. There have been several. There was a 1990 in Power of the Force 1998, and then in 2007 there's a 30th anniversary one as well.
But have they had rooted hair, or is it?
They did. The 1998 one had rooted fur as well, and then the 2007 one did as well. It looks like.
Cool.
Yeah, it did. And the 2007 one looks kind of beat up.
Very. That's
matted fur.
That's neat. I loved Cobb Vanth as a character. And seeing this version, without the armor is neat. I think that this was probably his most. I think he was more heroic in this version of the character.
I've always liked Star Wars fashion, like
Yeah.
the clothes and how they kind of take real world stuff, and I really like this outfit. Very Western, but
for sure.
Star Wars style.
Absolutely. And I really like this version of the character, the fact that he was a gunslinger, like true and true, you know what I mean? And what happened to him, and we still don't know what's actually happening, right? So we'll see if he comes back for another round. But seeing this version, yeah, I can dig this one for sure. So definitely looking forward to seeing Cobb Vanth return. And of course, going back to the Bad Batch, one of my all-time favorite shows. Yeah, we got what's the name here? Now, why am I drawing a blank all of a sudden? Um, all of a sudden, I draw a blank. This is Crosshair. I don't know why. Out of nowhere,
from Bad Batch.
Yeah. I don't know why. It just like I had like a brain
blanks are, man. One, it's not just our age, but it's Star Wars, man. Like
too many.
There's so much Star Wars content now, but there's a ton of like things to know. Like someone was saying, Ice Cream Man, Maker Man, and I'm like, oh, Wilro, and I spelled it wrong, but I'm like, why do I know the name Wilro Hood? It's just like nerdy things like that, and eventually your hard drive in the brain gets full, man.
So is it just me, or is this more cartoon aesthetic than it is actual vintage collection aesthetic? The reason I say that is because
the armor.
The armor is very much the colors and the deco. That's actually very minimal, right?
It is. It does seem to have that, but then it's sort of betrayed by the face.
Maybe, but this particular the backpack, for example, right? It's very, very minimalistic, and even the blaster, right? The sniper rifle. I don't know. There's something about this that just looks, to me anyway. I'm not I'm not trying to put it out there, but I know what you're talking about, the face, right? For sure. I mean that, like, if you were to look at that versus the way he looked in the show, but everything else screams, to me anyway. Everything else screams animated. You know what I mean? So and which I don't mind. I actually do prefer the animated style. Because I collected all the Bad Batch in Black Series, and again, I didn't mind it. There's that tempo again. You can really see the dot matrix pattern right there. It's pretty evident. But yeah, it's I am liking this version. I don't collect much vintage collection. It's just not really something of my jam. But I would, if the full Bad Batch comes out, I might actually consider picking this one up. Even again, there's literally no wash on any of this stuff. So it really does sort of lead me to believe that this is more leaning towards the cartoon aesthetic. And I wonder if that's actually what they're trying to do. Maybe see if they would sell. Because look, that just looks like there's something about it. I don't know. Were you ever into the Bad Batch?
I was. I'm like, folks don't realize that I actually am pretty damn complete when it comes to what's the current canon, including comics and books. I listen to a lot of the audio books on Audible, all the different Star Wars books, even the ones that I'm like, why am I going to listen to it? But I just do, and I enjoy it so much. And so I loved Bad Batch. I mean, and when I say love, I'm a fan of it all for sure. I'm a fan of the world, period. So I want to support it and enjoy whatever Star Wars. Same with MCU. Not my like favorite among all the stuff, but there's always fun nuggets that I think they introduce in these things. So everything with like the Bad Batch themselves coming out of Clone Wars. The notion of like what type of clones they are in relation to the whole cloning program and how that makes them special. And then see, now I'm blanking. What's the name of their sister?
Omega.
Essentially Omega.
Yeah.
Omega. And sort of her connection to other characters that we know and love that are related to the clones. I don't want to reveal too much unless it's written up, but I love all that stuff. So I was into Bad Batch for sure.
Yep. $16.99 for Crosshair. Very cool. I think that's about the same price. I don't remember it being any more than that. So really cool on that one. And then we'll just run the gambit on this. So more gaming greats, I think. Actually, no, this is what's his name? It is Moff Gideon. Yeah. But I don't think you can take his head. I think there's Moff Gideon in his Mandalorian inspired suit, but I don't think you can take his helmet. I don't think he has a swappable head, which is disappointing. What are your thoughts on that, Brick? The fact that he does not have a swappable head on this version.
Yeah, it is a little bit odd because that's him, right?
Yeah.
I haven't messed with like the vintage collection. Do heads remove and swap?
Depend. Yeah, they can
Okay.
remove the heads. Yes.
That is a little weird because Moff Gideon, his likeness and everything, and then of course he can't help but take his helmet off and be the
Yeah,
kind of villain.
It's
So
in his contract, man.
yeah.
It is in his contract. So
How do those capes work? Do you know on a vintage collection? Is it
it depends.
attached, glued?
This one's you can see the rubber band. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
So it's going around his shoulders.
Yeah, this one's
Okay.
actually going around his shoulders. Yeah, there's several ways that they do it depending on if it's the retro collection, it's very much sometimes they're vinyl, so just in keeping in style with the original style, but these ones are actually quite nice. But yeah, no swap head on this one, which is to me that's a surprise. I'm actually quite surprised. I'm actually disappointed in that. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm rather disappointed in the fact that he does not have a swappable head. Is it a deal breaker? Not really. But if they release one with a swappable head, I will riot. That's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous.
So many nerd riots these days, Jay.
Riot. We riot. And then we have Merrin again. The form factor is very nice with these, and of course you can collect a hell of a lot more of these than you can with. That's not true actually, but it's easier to collect these because they're so small and they fit in with all the. Good.
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say it's impressive how they are able to get such a good likeness in the smaller format, and it is pretty impressive that they're doing both Black Series and TVC on these guys. So
Yeah, impressive one way, and also like kind of redundant in others. But I do believe that there are more collectors, like legacy, of course. I mean, like it spans the better part of coming on to 60 years. Are we almost to 60 years now? I think we're getting very close to it.
For Star Wars,
yeah, for Star Wars.
No, please. That would mean that I would be 59.
Well, that's true, right?
We're about to be 50.
That's true. That's right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I was like
2027. 2027.
The first one came out in 1977. Was it really?
77. Yep.
God.
77, 82,
right.
86. I think
You're right. You're right. Yeah. No. That's crazy. Yeah. But
I was one.
I was one too. And I think it came out close to my birthday. But yeah, that's crazy to think that. Then again, you know what? I thought it was crazy when Transformers turned 40. I was like, wow, what the hell? That's freaking crazy. But yeah, this is looking like a really great collection. She looks awesome. And yeah, very, very cool to see Nightstalker Merrin in the collection. And finally, rounding it off, we get another Stormtrooper, which is always great. You can't get enough of Stormtroopers, right? So this is I believe it is a Tatooine commander. He's got the shoulder pauldron going on there. He's also got a big old bazooka, so he's definitely packing. And yeah, he looks like another great trooper to add to the collection. Are you an army builder, Brick, or are you just pretty much collect what you like?
It depends. There are some things that I would say foolishly do and build armies. But so like there's a couple of things where I do like the Horde Trooper Massiverse.
Yep. Awesome stuff.
Should I be? No. But but no, Stormtroopers, anybody who collects Star Wars, like of course you got to. Clone Troopers, it's like duh. Like you have to build an army.
Yeah. I mean that they are probably one of the original Storm army builders.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Where people really started to decided I need to build this army. As Brick alluded to earlier, now is the time, guys. Now is the time to support your local comic book shops, your local your local toy collectors, your local toy representatives, everybody who's doing it. Walmart and Target, they're doing their thing. Let them do their thing. But honestly, it's the little guys that really need it. The ones you shop at the most. Just like our good friends over at Titan Toys are right now having an epic. I'll do this the way Danny would have done it. The terrifying no tariff sale. This is of course the idea that there's stock that many of our local distributors have and it's non-tariffed. Okay, guys, this is non-tariffs, and they even have freaking sales, guys. This is crazy. As you can see here over at Titan Toys, they got some amazing some amazing stuff on sale right now. Dragon Ball Superhero Ichiban Show Gamma 1 was $70 USD. Now it's all the way down to $23 USD. That's an amazing price. Transformers series, Studio Series Laserbeak. Who made that name? Why would you do that? That's not Laserbeak, but it comes from the movie apparently. From $17 down to $15. Wheelie, the fully transformable, fully posable, is also down to $15. The Missing Link, Cliff Jumper. You guys, if you haven't seen these guys, they're amazing. They're the original toy sculpts, but with full articulation. That one's down from $59 all the way down to $37 USD. And talk about Star Wars Celebration. If you are missing your Morak Dinjarin because you were like, yeah, I don't really need him now, now's a good time to pick him up. Only $9 USD right now on TitanToys.com. Of course, a lot of people skipped out on this because, again, how many more Dinjarins do you need? But why not pick him up right now? We also have the Mandalorian Dark Watch Airborne Troopers all the way down to $9. And if you are an army builder, you definitely want to pick up the 332nd Ahsoka Clone Trooper. You can buy as many of these as you want for only $9 each. And of course, and if you want to complete your set of Fragrant Dan figures, you can pick them all up now for only $9 each. I mean, now's the time, Brick, to go on and support your local distributors, because these guys definitely need the help, and they need to stay afloat. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing about this.
100%.
ARC Trooper Jesse, Mandalorian Super Commando, and look, it's working. We already sold out on the Akiko figures for Black Series as well as the Baroness. That's already sold out. So keep supporting the local distributors. Ki Adimundi, $28 down from $31. Same thing with Cad Bane. And if you want your Alfred figure, because that's the one you really want, Brick. You want.
Oh, I need that Batman 80. Oh no, that's not even Batman 80. Batman and Robin. Alfred.
Batman Robin. No, yeah. Actually, no. That was Batman. This one is no. You're right. This is Batman Robin. Absolutely right. This
Batman
is
Forever. It's listed, but it was the same actor, right? From Batman 89.
It was. He lasted until Batman Robin. So he was there for the whole series, right? So yeah, if you want Alfred and the Batmobile, the skeleton Batmobile, you definitely have to pick it up at TitanToys.com. Transformers Generation Legacy Leader Armada Universe Galvatron. I was not into it, but he looks amazing. Down to $67 USD, and of course, a lot of great sales going on right now at local distributors. But definitely want to give a huge shout out to TitanToys.com for sponsoring this episode. And of course, they have some brand new arrivals. Of course, it's not going to stop, guys. I keep telling you, we need to keep going, such as it is. But Mortal Kombat 7, Raiden Glowing the Dark from McFarlane Toys, the DC Multiverse Joker, Batman the Killing Joke. As I said, McFarlane's last kick of the can. Brick, he's making a good one.
Yeah, no, he's going intent as he should. He's not going out with a whimper. There's a ton of stuff coming out, and that was recently announced.
The gold label DC Dark Knights metal series, black and white accent, Grim Knight is also available on TitanToys.com, as well as, and this one's actually a pretty good one because with the new accountant show, I actually would like another figure of this. Daredevil's Born Again Punisher action figure. Looking pretty cool. He's.
Have you been watching that?
I haven't been watching Daredevil, but I'm a fan of the accountant, and I don't know. Did you ever watch the accountant? The accountant was really great.
Did not.
No, you should watch the first accountant.
I know. I've heard great things about it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, the thing is, the second accountant looks like a complete departure from the first, but the first accountant was amazing. So definitely, you should check that out when you have time.
I will say, I really enjoyed the show. The finale was, and that guy, I felt the same way in Netflix. Like John Bernthal, like brings a nuance to his performance that, like, really for me actually makes me appreciate the Punisher character even more.
Yeah. The Walking Dead, he really brings it in many of the roles that he plays. The Walking Dead, the Punisher, the accountant. He pretty much is typecast for that kind of situation, but he does it so well. So he's a
He really does.
slightly off kilter, slightly. Do you know if he's on your side or not? No, very good, great character, acting and everything like that. So,
Mhm.
wonderful stuff. We got the Doomsday from Superman Batman, $37 on pre-order, and a typical anything Pokemon right now is just killing it. This is already sold out, guys, but they will have more. So if anybody's interested, and by the way, cards and comics have not yet been affected by the tariffs. So cross your fingers that continues for all you game collectors. And yeah, a whole bunch of different brand new pre-orders. Please, guys, head over to titantoys.com. They're a wonderful toy toy resource for action figures. And of course, if you purchase anything $250 or over on Canada, United States, you will qualify for free shipping, and you do have a number of ways to earn rewards. We're going to get to those in a second. I will circle back to this and cover a lot of those, but let's get back to what happened this weekend, Brick, for Star Wars Celebration. Yeah, overall thoughts. Wrapping up on this one, Brick. What were your thoughts about this lineup going forward? What do you think?
I mean, I will say at this point, I love Star Wars, but I actually don't actively buy any of their current lines. I think I literally only own 2 Black Series, and that's a Skeleton Crew Kid because I think she looks cool. One of them, and then the K2 droid from Survivor, Jedi Survivor. So I don't own a ton. My brother has some, and I've bought him plenty. But I just look at this line, and I'm like, that's cool. I was impressed by is the corners of the Star Wars universe and lore that they're pulling from, and to me, right there, that spread is I think a good, healthy way of sort of serving Star Wars fans, because you're never going to please everyone. Nerd with a Suit was talking about it earlier. You're never going to 100% please everyone. There's people up here looking at this and saying, that's not my Star Wars, or give me more episode 4, or give me more prequels. And it's like, man, I love the Star Wars world. Just like continue Star Wars. No one's taking away A New Hope from me. No one's taking away whatever little tiny, even expanded universe thing. Jeez, we got Dash Rendar, right? So to me, I appreciate that Hasbro and Lucasfilm it's a celebration year, and they're not just, amped up about whatever new thing might be coming out, like Starfighter or whatever else, the Mando Grogu movie or whatever else is coming. But they're like, hey, remember that game? Like, if you're into Jedi Survivor, we're going to give you some key characters and some fun side characters and a quirky variant of Cal Kestis. Do you remember Mando? Like, here's some side characters that we didn't get. Hey, remember New Hope or Bad Batch or that one Star Wars Visions, short or whatever they are technically. I like that. That's how I do Star Wars, and I appreciate that. Like, to me, it's like it shows the biggest strengths of Star Wars is, to me, it's like just diversity and long running sort of storytelling. So I think it's cool.
I tend to agree. I think there's a nice smattering of different lines. Obviously, they're coming back to another celebration for A New Hope, so obviously that's why they're bringing back the New Hope characters. And of course, the video games are going strong, and I think that really is where they can really play and expand the world. And I really enjoy that. The fact that we get an N64 character from Shadows of the Empire, that just blows my mind. After all these years, we're finally getting something like that, and the Bantha. I love the fact that we're getting a Bantha. That is just so cool. So
I will say one thing though. Sorry, just because you said anniversary year, there is one thing that I think is weirdly missing, because you're right that we're creeping up on an anniversary for New Hope, but this year is big anniversary year for is it Attack of the Clones? No, it's the last one.
Revenge of the Sith.
I believe so. My brain might be racking, but I can look it up because we just did the Phantom Menace, and I could have sworn, let's see, anniversary of Attack.
That was a really, really pivotal one. I can't see them not doing it. So it must be next year or the year after.
Well, Attack of the Clones was Attack of the Clones 20th anniversary was 2022.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's blanking.
Revenge of the Sith? Or Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it is. It's 2025, dude. It's actually
really.
It is
when
7 days from now.
What?
That will be
really?
Wait, let's see. This is
Mavericks
the
Fall?
20th anniversary. Oh, they're going to have the re-release on April 25th, 2025. And I'm pretty sure it was released on April 25th.
That is so strange. I mean, the fact that they have Star Wars Celebration in Japan and they didn't. I mean, it's still going, right? Like there's tomorrow and
They
there's
had a
tomorrow.
panel about Revenge of the Sith, and Anakin was there, Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, hey,
But
Christmas.
that's one of the big things that is a little bit of a weird thing. And I'm admittedly not the biggest fan of the prequels, so but
Yeah.
you know, I'm down for them. But that is definitely a weird miss this year.
Yeah, but I wonder if it actually has to do with what's happening right now. I mean, that's possible, right?
It-
It might have
They've
everything
been
might have thrown.
maybe, but they've been planning, celebration for a while, and that has been the big rumblings that people have wondered about. Like, hey, where's the big Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah, that's
Oh, it
odd.
was released May 19th, 2005. So the actual anniversary will be next month, but
Okay.
they're doing the
We might-
re-release in theaters here April 25th.
Yeah, so we might see something coming up, but yeah,
But
I
why
think you're
wouldn't
right.
you do it at Celebration, right? Or
I know,
do it
I know.
through the toys? It's
Yeah,
odd.
so strange, so strange. Mind you, Hasbro's done some weird things in the past, so I guess we'll find out. I mean, there's still a lot of year to go, so you never know.
True, true.
They might actually do something more.